Hi, everybody. Guess who's on time?
Woohoo!
Lion,
going?
you're wrong. He predicted 4 minutes and 51 seconds. So silly.
I have no credibility. My God.
Okay, so I feel a little bit bad because the schedule for this show has not been what it is that I'd like it to be as a person of as a person of organization and scheduling and OCD, like to a degree. I am ashamed.
I love how the degree you measured it out to be like, what was that? That was around
to a degree.
Half to 2/3 of an inch you allowed yourself there.
Yeah, because we're measuring in what is it? Not metric. Standard, is it? Is that what it's called?
Standard or imperial or US E?
I have no fucking clue.
No, SAE. SAE. I don't even know what that stands for.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Let's look it up.
But yeah, I feel really bad because I fully intended to have this show on Saturday. I trust me, I did. But something came up last week, regarding. Okay, so I'll get into a little bit of the detail about that. Polly knows somewhat what was going on, and some of the people in the Discord do too. But, so my cat had some digestive issues, the week prior, that kind of culminated into Sunday night, bleeding in a way that was definitely terrifying, because 1 minute it was just, I don't want to get too gross with this. I'll just say he had digestive issues that deeply concerned me because there was blood involved. And so I had to get him into the vet, and they couldn't get me in until Tuesday morning. And that was, that's typically when it is that I have my shift. And so I had to switch shifts for Saturday instead of Tuesday with someone else at work so that I could take my cat to the vet. So I deeply apologize, but it was for a good cause, trust me. As Polly told me, IRL before URL. So, I feel a little bit better about that. The fact that we had to reschedule it for today instead of just keeping it to the Saturday time. That being said, I was gonna have to do this anyway. Polly, we have to reschedule next week too.
Really?
Wow. And the reason why is because it's my cousin's graduation party. Yes, I know how horrible of us to mess with COVID standards during lockdown season or whatever, but no one gives a fuck anymore, at least in my family, and we're all fine. Yeah, so we're gonna have to reschedule. Do you want to do it before or later, or like?
I don't know anymore.
Can we do it on Monday again?
Yeah, we could do it on Monday again if you'd like.
Okay, so we are doing it a week from today.
Hold on, when's it supposed to be? It's
supposed to be Saturday, 8 p.m. Okay. Central Standard Time. But Jesus, I don't know what is going on. Just everything has been thrown at me in the last couple of weeks. From, friends visiting to cat rough health shenanigans to I don't even fucking know. Just I'm having a really wonky summer. I mean, it's not all bad, but it's not all good either. And it's really messing with my ability to schedule things, and that's putting me off a lot. Like, I showed up to work yesterday a whole hour early. And it's not because I didn't schedule it. I had it scheduled, but for an hour earlier than what it was that I was supposed to show up for. So, yeah, it's rough. I'm having a rough time of it. Please, no bully. Thank you, Nope, donated to say, how did the interview go? Oh, I should have saved this for the show because other people knew about the interview too. Yeah, so I was freaking out last night on Twitter because I couldn't find a good outfit to wear for today. Because everything that I had was either too plain, too for cold weather, too casual, or like didn't fit. And then I eventually found something. I wore a cardigan over a sleeveless shirt, and it was fine. But the interview went well. The skills assessment was a toss-up, but I don't think that's a super big deal. think I sold myself really well in the interview, which I knew I was going to do anyway. I'm very personable. I'm very good at conversating with people. Yes, that is a word, Polly. Um, uh,
Conversating? Yeah.
yeah,
I,
conversating.
I know.
I'm just making sure because you called me on it before. You're like, that's not a word, is it? But yeah,
Conversation is the preferred form, but okay.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm really good at selling myself to people. I'm really good at talking and formulating ideas that come out of my face. So that's never a problem. Really, it just comes down to how do I measure up against the other candidates and did I charm the pants off of everybody? Which, by the way, wearing a mask to a job interview is to my detriment because I can't flash them the good old pearly whites that my parents gave me. Look at this. Yeah? Yeah?
I got it from my mama. I
This is
got it from my
limiting.
mama.
This is very limiting. This is how I make all the big money tips at work. Yeah, this is what gets me the money. Yeah, so it went well. We'll see. I'll find out on Friday if I got the job. Fingers crossed. I really want this job just because it's like a decent job and it's not gonna make me want to kill myself. Because it's either this or Geek Squad, and I don't want to work for Geek Squad. Not that it's a problem. I just don't want to. Because they're an hour away from me. Rough. Anyway, so that was my day today. Prepping for the interview, figuring out what to wear, and then the interview itself. Did I use Polly as a reference? Asks Daniel Fullman. No, I did not. Polly, can I use you as a reference?
A friend of mine one time, like, extra low key. A friend of mine one time was applying for a job that he was completely unqualified for, but there were no human lives involved. You know what I mean? It's just he wasn't qualified for the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so can you go ahead and like not lie, but possibly be evasive when it comes to and I did. I was, So was he able to perform adequately in this technical area that he's required in this technical research area? And I was like,
yeah.
I can't say I ever found myself unhappy with his performance.
Not would you actually know? Like,
What do you mean?
like he's never actually performed anything for you, so you could be like, I
No,
wasn't
it's just
happy
he
with his
just didn't know
performance.
about anything about that area of work, but
Yeah,
I did,
okay.
and that's why he asked me to
Mm,
dissemble on his behalf as a reference.
gotcha.
So, and he kind of put me in a spot, man. He's like, okay, just look, here's the deal. I put you down as a reference, okay, as a previous employer. And I'm like, okay, wait.
Oh boy.
She usually asks me about this because I didn't think they were going to ask right away. Usually you say references available upon request. Well, they requested.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Just like right then.
Yeah. Well, that's my man right there. So I'm just like, all right.
Okay, but the important part is, did he get the job?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Hey,
all right.
yeah, he got the job. It wasn't hinged upon the fact that I was able to do that. That was just one of the things that you needed. And yeah, I got the phone call from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny. They emailed me and said we'd like to set up a time. And then it was the next I didn't email them back immediately. And it was the next day in the morning that they just called me. And I was like, who are you?
Are you okay? Here's a question that I didn't ever think to ask until now, but are you supposed to tell people that you're using them as a reference on job apps?
Are you supposed to tell people that you're using them as a reference? If it's a previous employer, like you worked like down at the Piggly Wiggly, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if it's a personal, I think of references like in terms of like academic references and it's one form of that, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely want to let the person know that you're using them as a reference because,
Okay. Well, it probably alert some people that I used as a reference then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, you've done the academic thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
or you've thought about it, like
Mhm.
going ahead that you might have to use academic references. That is like 50% of the weight of your application for a program or um, a funding application, a scholarship application, whatever. 50% of your application is your references,
Yeah.
at least,
Well,
because
typically
everything
they,
else, everyone's application looks good on paper,
yeah.
like So
Well,
how do you distinguish between them? And it's by how important your referee is, how
mhm.
much they're willing to laud you, like, and how important like they are, like what they've accomplished. Because if
Yeah.
they're a big deal and they say that you're cool, that means you're a big deal by extension. That
Mhm.
sort of thing.
Because okay, so usually you have to ask for because they ask for a letter of recommendation, not just a reference. So you have to have that person provide the letter to the place that it is that you're applying to directly. Um, and I've done that before, but I meant as like a job reference, not for like a scholarship or grad school or whatever.
Hmm. Do you read them super chat sweeps?
I'm gonna get to them right now. Thank you to Lane Stanfield. Somebody else asked what would be in a Weebo if there was a drink named after you. And then Nope Nope said for two, watch Louis Roseman's video on Geek Squad. Why is there something that I don't want to know about Geek Squad before I work there? Or is there something that I really do want to know about Geek Squad before I work there? If I work there. Not that I'm probably gonna work there, but yeah. I did. I got desperate last week and I ended up applying for Geek Squad because I'm like, at least there's experience in the field. But okay, so what would be in a Weebo if there was a drink named after me? Ooh, I'm definitely thinking like peach schnapps, maybe.
Hmm.
That would be in there, and then something bubbly, like a Sprite, maybe, or champagne, and I don't know, maybe
What's that traditional Polish liqueur called? It's very sweet. Not Kirsch. That's
I don't know.
I picture bubbly champagne and Polish liqueur. That's very Weebo. It's
Well, we're
sweet
talking like
yet
about a
tart.
mixed drink.
What's that?
Yeah, we're
Well,
talking about a mixed drink, so
yeah.
yeah. So I'm like inventing a
I'm
drink
not
on the
saying
spot
that.
right now.
How you? Okay, how are you defining mixed drink?
Well, I'm mixing it right now in my head. Mixed
I
drink
did.
with
Okay, okay. Opening a
different
bottle of beer
liquors.
doesn't count as a
No,
Weebo
no,
drink.
no, 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 no. I was giving you like options for to put into said drink, and then you have to mix it. All right. So I'm thinking, peach schnapps would be a good thing. I'm thinking champagne or something bubbly like a Sprite would be good to go in that too. And then like I need something like a third option, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm thinking
Yeah,
maybe
but
we could go with orange juice, but no, that seems too typical for me. We'd need something else, but fruity, still fruity, not
okay,
lemons and not
okay.
limes.
Here's my call. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Polish liqueur because it's Polish
Mm-hmm.
and sweet, and you have that weird occasional when drunk facet for being sweet.
Oh,
Champagne because it's bubbly and you be effervescent sometimes, but it's also tart because you be sour sometimes. A lot of the time. And then papaya juice because it's fruity but
mm-hmm.
obscure.
Never had papaya juice,
See what I mean?
hence the obscure.
Obscure.
Mm-hmm. Or I'd go with a spicy margarita, not spicy margarita, spicy Bloody Mary. I really like my Bloody Marys. They're very good. And plus, you get vodka, and vodka was, of course, invented by the Polish. So,
It was. It's not Russian. It's you've got a point. They thieved it from you.
plus, I am a potato. So there's that. Oh, by the way, pro tip. You guys like to make smoothies, all right? Do not put kiwis in your smoothies. Let me tell you why.
I actually want to hear this. I make smoothies. Why is that?
Because the little seeds, they're not
Uh-huh.
like strawberry seeds where they just get stuck in your teeth and then you can like get them out. For whatever reason, they like to stick to the back of your throat, to the coating in the back of your throat. And so you can like feel them there
Huh.
tickling. Just kind of tickling. Whatever. And if you don't have enough substance to kind of like dislodge it, it's gonna stay there until you
Huh.
do.
I wouldn't have thought of that. That's good advice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so pro tip. But yeah, I don't know. Your drink is good. I think my drink is incomplete, and then the Bloody Mary is always a classic go-to example, especially since you get the skewer pickle on there. Ooh. Yes.
I forget. I asked you about if you've ever had a Bloody Maria. Did you say?
A Bloody Maria? How's that? Is that
So
different?
Bloody
That's
Mary with
different from a Bloody Mary?
yeah, it's a
Okay.
Bloody Mary precisely, except tequila instead of vodka. Thus Maria instead of Mary.
No, I've not had it.
Really popular around where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it. Go up to my regular Bloody Mary place and be like, can I get a Bloody Maria instead of a Bloody Mary? Everything is normal except for tequila instead.
Yeah.
You know, my dad calls tequila tequila
Yeah.
for a night that he forgot because he really wanted to, and also because he couldn't help it but forget. Yeah, I'm gonna start growing kiwis in my belly, Lion Patriot. Totally. That's how that works, right? Right, Polly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeds grow in acid.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Don't worry about it. Oh,
Sprintee says Goldschlager mixed with Fago. Huh.
I
Okay.
don't even know what Goldschlager is.
It's a cinnamon liqueur with little gold flakes floating in it.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Because it's too expensive for me. I am poor.
That's not
Innocent.
that expensive. I mean, the gold it's there for the look of it, and it looks kind of funky because they really do just sort of float in the bottle.
Why put gold flakes in alcohol other than to make it pretentious or more pretentious, Polly?
That's why.
That's
I
why?
don't know if it's to make it pretentious, but just to make it different, noticeable, kind of cool and different, I guess.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I didn't make it, but that's my guess.
Thank you the next 6 minutes for the donation over on the Streamlabs. All the awesome best with your job application. If these folks know what kind of badasses they could have with Weebo on staff, they'll make the right call. Whatever happens, you have all of us to back you up. Rather not see you have to commute, though. That's the thing. Right now, the commute wouldn't be that bad, but the moment I move, it will be horrible. But it'll be for, what, a year, and then it's not a super big deal. I can stomach that. I don't mind a commute. I really want a job is the thing. And I really want to move out is the other thing. And those two things kind of go hand in hand. So as soon as I get a job, my life picks up again.
Oh, thank you, next 6 minutes for the donation. If by some strange chicanery you have not subbed to this awesome otter, and you have some semblance of taste, sub to this otter. He's just that cool, y'all. Noir and comic book curation stands as scientific evidence. If you need more, he has screw tape.
Screw tape.
That's some seriously inside references to my channel 6. Thank you. For anyone who doesn't already sub, you've just really confused them as to what the hell you're talking about.
Well, you'll have to go over to Polly's channel and find out exactly what he's talking about. Gooder. Satiate that curiosity, gentlemen.
Gooder?
Gooder. Like dirt. Like dirt. Gooder.
Oh. Okay.
Like duh. Except more cognitively slow. I'm not allowed to use the other word anymore. Apparently it's bad. Even though it was used in the diagnostic manual for many moons. So, Polly.
Yeah.
I changed my Twitter name.
Gee, okay, that's fresh. You don't do that on the weekly, but okay, what is it now?
Sorry. Guitato guacamoleo.
Well, Again, how'd you come up with that?
You see, sometimes I make up things in my head that I think sound funny, and I put them together at weird intervals in time, and I decided that that one sounded like a really good Italian name, and so I put it in in there because I thought it would be funny. It would confuse the masses.
What was it? Well, I'm sure you were successful there.
Yeah.
What was the first part? Guitano?
No. Guitato guacamoleo.
Okay, the first part wins on being faux Italian. The second part, I don't know.
Are you sure?
Yes, but the clutched fingertips does sell it, though. I'll give you that.
Guitato guacamoleo. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
That sells it. That's a win.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so Weebo.
Polly.
You as a veteran.
I didn't survive Nam.
No, but you did go to war with a Kang's supporter.
Yes.
At one point.
My infamous stint on Warski Live.
Infamous.
R.I.P. in peace.
Legendary.
It's gone now, though.
What was it, Radio 1? Was that?
Yeah, Radio 1. That was his name.
Yeah. Your debate with Radio 1 was legendary. That was great. Mm-hmm. How dare you, Cave Beast, stand up against the original man? It was just...
Oh, God. It was... I was a sophomore in college at that point. I cannot tell you how long it took me to prepare for that debate. I had weeks to prep, and I used every spare second I could in order to compile all of the things that I wanted to like potentially showcase as points for my argument. So half the shit that you would have seen in that stream did not make it to the actual stream that I prepped for it, unfortunately. And I think I still have it somewhere. I don't know where, but yeah.
So why is it gone?
So Warski got taken off of YouTube.
Well, okay, that I know, but I thought you had a copy of it up on your channel, I mean.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless there's an archive version somewhere.
Ask Twitter. Ask the internet. See if... Because that was legend. You should if you could repost, you should. I thought you had a copy up on your channel. That's too bad. For those of you who don't know, Chad, it was legend. What tell the story. I want to, for those who don't know, what brought about this legendary rumble in the jungle.
So, oh boy, this was around the time I think the bust of Nefertiti had come into the news for whatever reason. Oh, I recall. It was such a stupid point, too. I didn't expect it to blow up the way that it did for the video that I made. But they made a replica version of Nefertiti based off of the bust, the original bust, the one that's super famous. I can pull it up, actually. And people were super pissed because the skin was too white.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't know that that's what... I did not know that's what this was over, but that they would take issue with Nefertiti or Ramses or any of the large figures in Egyptian history, right? They're going to make the argument that, clearly.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a replica that was made. I can't remember exactly which one it was. You know what? I'm going to pull up the original article because I still have it. Because I am that person.
They still argue endlessly over Cleopatra. Cleopatra is black. Oh, yeah, let's ignore the whole, very strong evidence of her Ptolemaic line. And this, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh boy. We was king. So I made a video about this.
I didn't expect this stream to go in this direction. Sorry, wait. I'm actually going somewhere with this. I wasn't just bringing it up to reminisce. I'm headed somewhere.
Okay, gosh, I have to find it. A Tale of Kangs Part 1 is a 3-part
Is,
series on my
is that what
channel.
you called it? Tales of Kegs?
A
Oh
Tale
no.
of Kangs Part 1.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Here's the original article that got me to make this. Who's this? Whitewashed bust of Queen Nefertiti has people scratching their heads.
What people?
Here it is. Here it is. So this is
Okay.
a digital replica of the bust of Nefertiti that they tried to, like, you know, prop up as. Why is there a video in the corner? Go away, ho. Yeah, that they tried to prop up as like an accurate representation of what she would have looked like. And of course, these things are never super accurate, but everyone took super massive issue with the fact that she was whiter than she should have. So of course, they were making a big deal about her being like a Karen type or whatever. Nefertiti was black. So I went super Weebo pedantic with this, and I'm like, it's not necessarily that outrageous that they would have gone with this. I mean, the skin color of this current bust right here, because that was a lot of the problem that people had, looks very similar to the original bust that they have that they're working off of. And I did a color analysis both in light and dark shadow. Um, so I was more thorough than I should have been for a like 15-minute video for a channel that at the time had maybe 3,000 subscribers on it.
Uh-huh.
And so I did a color analysis. I posted the video, and I'm like, look, even if I grant you, this isn't 100% accurate or whatever, we still don't. No one actually knows what these people actually looked like, except for based off of representations of them that we have to this day. And so I made this video, and it got a lot more attention than I thought it was going to get from a crowd that I didn't know existed until this happened, and it was the Was Kangs people.
Mm-hmm.
And they were super pissed with me about making this video. Some of the comments, ooh, some of the comments were lovely. I think the first one that I got, the most popular one, someone was telling me to go kill myself or that they were going to kill me.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are some pretty spicy comments under that video. And one of those comments was Radio 1, and I can actually bring those up too, if you would like.
Mm. Yeah, I'd like to hear the man himself. Because I mean, there are some people that are good orators and good arguers, whether their position be solidly based or not. They can defend it well. This person was Radio 1 was okay. Yeah, I believe that you actually hold this position, but you are bad. Like, I'm not trying to blow rainbows up Weebo's butt, but she took him to the cleaners. It was pretty rough. Yep. He wasn't very good at it.
So he actually took down a lot of the comments that he left on my channel, although you can actually see them within the other 2 videos that I made about this occurrence, because I was very thorough and I managed to screenshot them before he could take them down. And I documented essentially the whole kerfuffle that was this interaction with him on top of the original interaction. And it's in a series on my channel somewhere. I think it's near the bottom when you go to the homepage, but the very first comment, or the only comment that is left underneath that video from Radio 1 is this. First of all, Miss Cave Beast Becky, the most original and accurate of Nefertiti is from her tomb wall reliefs that show here as a mahogany skin color and thick lips. But that bust and that reconstruction are both fake and inaccurate depictions of the queen, which is just one example of what it was that I was coming up across. So several weeks transpire. There's a back and forth after he challenged me to a debate, and I accepted, and I was like, all right, so whose channel do you want to do this on? And we were emailing back and forth, and it was this whole debacle because he kept having to push it back because of this, that, and the other reason. And finally, I called him on it, and it finally happened on Worski's channel.
of all places.
Well, it was originally supposed to happen on Sinatra's, but it didn't end up happening, and so finally I got it to happen on Andy's, which was really cool. Although I did get a lot of very interesting subscribers from that experience as well, because this was right around the time JF was the co-host at the time. So if that tells you anything about what was going on in the community at that point, it was smack dab in the middle of the race realism shenanigans.
Right.
Right after Kraut had fucked up, and right before Tonka came into the mix, I believe. So right in that sweet spot where they were doing debates, and it was semi-legitimate. Um, but the debate was kind of a shit show. It was an absolute shit show, a fun shit show, but a shit show nonetheless. And it did end up taking him to the cleaners, on top of making him look like an idiot, because he had this tendency to repetitiously say okay, okay, okay every 5 freaking seconds within anything that he was articulating. So after every single okay that he would say, I would respond with okay, 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 okay.
Bitch. You're such a bitch.
And that became a meme for a while too. And still some people to this day do that. Like if you go on my Instagram, every once in a while you're gonna see an okay on the Instagram because it carried. But yeah, I did that just because I was starting to get super like, okay, if I don't call this bitch out right now, I'm going to scream. And so I had to like temper myself and agree with him while still kind of placating myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I managed to maintain that middling ground. But yeah, that was, you can find most of it, if not, you can find everything that I produced on my channel still. The stream has been taken down. I don't know. I could probably DM Andy and ask him if he's got a copy of it so I could post it to my channel so that other people could see it. But as of right now, I don't have a copy of it, and I am super sad about that. Honestly, I truly am, because it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I think that's not the only debate that I've ever had to this day, but it's definitely one of the more hilarious ones. Oh, speaking of which, you know what I should totally post to the channel?
Go ahead.
So you remember one of my crazy, creepy stalker persons? Radio, or not radio, YouTube Renegade?
No.
Oh, this was the guy that I got to post, that I peer pressured into posting his penis on Twitter.
Well done, I guess.
Well, you see. This was the same guy that had been trying to convince, conservative slash classical liberal type commentators on the Twitterverse to post or pose nude either for him in a photo shoot, or to just post these pictures to the internet because he believed in prude culture. He was trying to defeat prude culture, was his thing, was his angle, which was the idea that all people only wear clothes because they've been subjected to this very classical Judeo-Christian idea that the body is something to be ashamed of, and we've been conditioned since birth to think this way, and that's the only reason anyone would ever neglect showing themselves naked to the people. So basically, he's like a nudist with 12 extra steps. He's a nudist activist. Anyway, the conversation went something like, well, if you believe this, then where are your nudes all over the place? And I got him to post nudes on the internet, and I've never regretted anything more in my life. Because he tagged me in it! I had to look at this baby dong with my own 2 eyes. No, like an internet stalker, Brad Young, not like a real stalker. But there was an actual live debate on a channel called Scratch Point that still exists as as far as I know, to this day on his channel. I should probably archive it so that it doesn't also get taken down and put it on my channel. I'll ask him about that after the show. Um, and, you know, maybe give him a few views as well to his channel too. But yeah, that's a good idea, is to kind of maybe acquire all of the things that I've been on other people's channels and maybe archive them somewhere in case they go down. Might be a good idea.
Yeah, at the very least, put them on Weebo Incognito, your second channel.
Yeah.
Polly, have you ever had a stalker? Asked Daniel Follman. Not like that. No, I have had never requests for nudes, but requests for lewd audio recordings. Some overly interested women who slid up into my DMs that made me kind of a little uncomfortable, just gonna say. But like straight up stalker? No.
Oh shit, you know what? It's on BitChute. No, maybe it's not. Nope, that's just an edit. No, that's 11 minutes. I'm gonna have to... Radio 1's on... Oh, never mind. Sorry, I was looking at it right now because I was curious. But yeah, I'm gonna write that down so I don't remember, or so I do remember that. I have to do those things. Those two things. Where is my thing? That's what she said. Found it. Because I hate forgetting things, as we all know. So, Polly, why did you ask about the Kangs? Because I feel like you were going with this.
Well, yeah. Okay. So I ended up doing a unintentional deep dive with... Are you aware of who? Excuse me. Are you aware who the Hebrew Israelites are?
Oh boy, am I.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I was aware of who the Hebrew Israelites were and are, and some of the things that they get into, and that's right, and the whole 9 yards. Like any crazy group, they're going to have their presence on social media, YouTube being among them. Without taking everybody and boring them through the steps, I ended up going from one channel to another channel, not any of them related to Hebrew Israelism, but from one person's channel, a guy by the name of Vocab Malone, who is a academic Christian apologist who ends up being a big critic of Hebrew Israelism because, well, it's Hebrew Israelism. There's a lot to be critical of there, and he's quite good at it, and he's funny. He spends the time doing it, and he's funny, and he brings on good guests. Mostly, his really good material is interviewing former Hebrew Israelite members, and it's you know, instead of taking guesses, you tell me, why'd you leave, what was it like, why did you join, and you get all the classic stuff that you would expect to hear from an ex-cult member, and it's those ex-members calling it a cult. Mm-hmm. The sense of the deprogramming that they talk about, that they had to go through, the control in what they wear and who they talk to, separate you from your family, the slowly breaking you down in terms of your former identity and personality and reconstructing it in their image, giving you a strong sense of identity, but one that is inseparable from the group. So if you leave, you're no longer you, all the things you would expect to come out of cult psychology, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just doing something here. There we go. And what I've come to, and so from his channel, I ended up going to channels that are reacting to the fact that Vocab is making videos about them.
Yeah.
There is a through line that goes through all of the different camps of Hebrew Israelism. And there's a number of different camps that make them up, which are just sects, groups, organizations, call it whatever you want. They call them camps. So there's, ICGJC, there's UICI, that uh, and then they all go by different things. Like ICGJC is what it's Israel something something Jesus Christ. Then there's is Israelites United in Christ is the second largest organization. Then of course One West, which is the largest organization. One West is a camp, breaks up into like 12 different subsidiaries that they're all One Westers. But for me, it gets interesting just because of all the detail and the if these people weren't actually dangerous and spreading crazy ideology and ruining people's lives and shit, it would be full on conspiracy theory funny. But it stops short of, being full on funny because they actually are dangerous in the sense that they ruin people's lives and spread crazy ideology that's hateful and racist as fuck. The core identity of it, if you don't know, is that they, as African Americans, are the true inheritors of the Hebrew tradition. They are the actual Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashkenazi Jews and even Sephardic Jews, to a lesser extent, are thieves of their identity that has been stolen from them as the true sons of Israel, sons and daughters of Israel. They're nuts.
Yeah.
Because it's, are there black Jews, people of African descent that have been Jews since like the year one? Yeah, of course there have been. Why not just claim that? We are of the tribe of Judah. We are of the tribe of, name one of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Mm-hmm. That's not enough, man, to claim Hebrew identity, which would be authentic as an African descended person, to say that I too can authentically be this thing. Yeah, you could do that, but no, that's not good enough for the crazy group. They got to be us,
exclusive,
right? It's got to be an exclusive claim, right? It's not like we too of African descent of Nubia were in Egypt, we're in Kemet of the time. That's not enough. We got to claim that it was entirely us and we were the royalty and everyone else has thieved our identity and like it's always got to go there. You know what I mean? And the through line that goes through all these different camps, no matter how different they are, because they all don't agree with each other, they all got different thoughts about these things, but they do have that unity of thought in the sense that they're all the true inheritors of the Jewish tradition. And street preaching ways, meaning screaming and yelling biblical verses at people.
Oh, yes, we've seen those videos.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I always get a kick out of them. Because that's not how you reach people, even if you are trying to.
No, it's the worst way. And they have this plotted chart, because there's the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Like the 12 biblical tribes of Israel, and how every ethnicity on earth descends from them. And it's a completely manufactured artificial structure lineage that they've come up with. But in their ethnic, racial, what have you makeup of everyone descending from the 12 tribes of Israel, they, as people of African descent, Native Americans, and Hispanic people are a unified tribe. Everybody else is of a different tribe and are Esau, like from the biblical individual Esau. So they don't say fuck white people when you go to their web pages or whatever. They're always talking about God hates Esau, and they're referring to white folks. Asians, they have a particular hate on for them as well because they're descended from another hated tribe of Israel. Like, just it's nuts, man, and can be very entertaining because I love me some great conspiracy theories, and if they weren't ruining people's lives, it would be fully hilarious. But in any case, on this dive, I did not realize how far some of this stuff could go, and I've been having a good time with it. And what reminded me of it is that you had gone, down that road with characters of this general ilk yourself.
Oh yeah, and they're persistent too. Is the thing. Like, they are diehard fanatics about it.
Oh yeah, Jolly Roger brought that point. Yeah, fuck you, white boy. Hail Hitler. It's what this terrible. The guy's crying. Yeah, those were Hebrew Israelites. Those were One Westers.
Mm-hmm.
Just ridiculous fucking garbage that they do. And talk about taking biblical verse and making whatever the fuck you want out of it. Oh man.
Loose interpretation. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, Vocab is this guy who makes videos regarding a whole bunch of different things inside of Christian apologetics, but particularly about Hebrew Israelites, because I mean they're way the fuck out there, and they've got such a hostile, harsh, hateful, condemning vision of the world that, and using the Bible to do it. So of course he's going to go after people like this in terms of just criticism, mockery, expose. Their response, one of the through lines that you see through all of Hebrew Israelism that I was talking about, is paranoia. The feds are like at the gates. There's informers everywhere. They're working for the feds. Only trust a real brother and sister that you've known for a while that's inside the camp, because the feds want to get in here and destroy us because we're speaking this truth. And everyone's against them, like the Vatican's against them, and the Catholics are trying to destroy them, and the Ashkenazi Jews, the fake Jews, are out to destroy them. It's like,
well, that's how you make a cult, is you feel like you give the people of the cult the impression that they're being persecuted at all times, and therefore that strengthens the bond within the cult between the people. And psychologically speaking, it's probably one of the tightest things to unionize people, is to feel like they are being persecuted and they have a safe group of people that can relate to that feeling, that knows exactly what they're talking about. It's the same thing that's going on with a lot of the Black Lives Matter people, a lot of trans folk as well. Is the common perception that you are going to be persecuted at every point in your life, at every moment in your existence. Something is working against you because of this, that, and the other thing. It's super fascinating if it weren't so downright sad to witness.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. And so what's the response from groups that will think along these lines, right? If somebody's criticizing them, they're an agent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Vocab Malone, a guy who's a Sicilian, so he's a dark olive skinned Sicilian guy they claim is an undercover Muslim that's in the employ of the federal government or somebody to pretend to be a Christian, to sow dissent amongst Black people because it's a racist government program to cause dissension and confusion and disunity amongst Black folks in the United States. And because Hebrew Israelism is a unifying force, they're out to destroy it. Like, don't respond on the level of like, look, here's what you're saying, and you're taking these Bible verses right out of context. You're taking this historical material way the fuck out of context and claiming things that nobody's agreeing with, and like that's the level and then mockery. That's the way they're coming out. Where they're either going to make fun of them or take them on. I'm going to call it academically. That's Vocab's vibe. That's David Wood's vibe. That's What Do You Meme's vibe. Like, all the people that are doing criticism, and all the former members. Former members that have left, those were all agents that they exposed at some time, so had to leave the group before they got fully exposed while still being inside the group. They were infiltrators that were forced to leave, which is nuts. So I'm watching a video where one of these guys is exposing Vocab, and to give you an idea, it's not just the guys in the video saying it, it's the throngs of people who show up in the comments section to go, oh, hell yeah, you're right. You're right, though.
Yeah, there are no shortage of crazy people out there. Oh, are you going to show me pictures?
Yes, I am. I had to save this one, get a screen cap of this, because this is peak, okay? I think that Vocab is being used by either the Vatican, Islam, or the CIA, but Vatican is on top of the list. That was the top comment on this video attempting to expose
he's only got
Vocab Malone.
Don't worry about it. Also,
okay,
notice the use of the semicolon there. I think that's what I'm seeing, right? What's up with that?
It is. I counted. There are 3 semicolons and 6 commas in this sentence.
Okay. All right, bro.
It's only got 4 likes, but their video view counts are shockingly high. So you get this idea that they might be like hate comments, but this was like the top comment in the sense of the comment that was at the top. Now, did it have hundreds? No, but like this video had like, I forget, like several thousand views. And there's dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds, of these Hebrew Israelite channels all over YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And this material is going on, and there's people that do it. And if for those of you who don't remember, Nick Cannon is very much spouting lines that are along these, and the trouble that he got himself into recently, right?
Oh yeah.
I've got my head wrapped up with, not really. I've got a fake pull-on elastic turban that I pulled on over my head that I wear out in public because I'm the original Jew and my identity's been stolen by the Jews and the whites because they're the true savages. Like, these lines are coming right out of Nation of Islam, Nation of Gods and Earths, Five Percenters, Hebrew Israelism, and all the crap that he was spouting in that interview that caused him all of his recent difficulties, coming right out of this movement. And it's widespread. When you had Ice Cube with all this, people, he's sending out all these We Was Kangs memes on Twitter in support of Black Lives Matter. They weren't like, yes, they were We Were Kangs memes, but they were all Hebrew Israelite memes because they have people that make memes. And one of the people that makes memes, that made memes for them, for the sake of promoting their ideas,
count as dog whistles, do you think?
What do you mean?
It's kind of like signaling to the masses that this is a thing that they believe, like the memes themselves. Because we went through a period of time when the Pepe the Frog was supposed to be a racist dog whistle, and then it was, and then because it was memed into oblivion as that because people thought it was. And so is that what's happening here?
Like deliberately with Ice Cube, or are you talking about particularly with this stuff?
Either. Yes. Your either or.
I think there's people that repeat things having heard them, thinking that it's insider knowledge. Like, I forget the basketball player's name, NBA player, who spouted some of this Hebrew Israelite shit recently. And it's like, is he like studying Hebrew Israelite works and texts and books because they produce all kinds of self-published stuff and like really studying it? Or is it something that he just heard repeated and now he's not too bright of a guy, so he's repeating it because he thought of it as some insider information? Did you know that kind of stuff? I think it's all over the place. I think sometimes it's absolutely intended as a dog whistle, as a signal to some people who get where it's coming from. And I think other people are doing it just because they don't understand all of the other stuff that this material is attached to.
Also, you would think that someone who's, familiar as they are with this kind of material would cease to use the Oxford comma since it's steeped in white racism and whatnot.
Right? Oh my God. I mean, one example, like there's vocab, and some other people have done an interview with, I forget her name when she was with the Hebrew Israelites, and she was with Israel United in Christ, that group. And she ended up, go ahead.
You have a dollar due thingy in your money bin.
I have a dollar due thing?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have limited screen space. Hold on.
Rough.
Not Shio. Thank you very much for the donation. Says, question for y'all. If you're a necrophiliac, which celebrity would you want to dig up? Remember to pre-read this, Polly. Lol. Fuck you, man. You say that first, not last.
Oh, got him. Rough. Are you okay? COVID?
Yeah, I'm good.
COVID got your tongue? You gonna die?
My house. I'll die if I want to.
It's my house, and I'll die if I want. Sorry.
Yes.
All right. So produce me.
No, hold on. Not Shio asked you a question. They didn't say Polly. It said y'all. That's both of us. You first.
Wait, repeat the question.
If you're a necrophiliac, which celebrity would you want to dig up?
I don't want to answer this question. Why couldn't you read it first? Okay.
It's Shio's. It's not Shio's fault.
It's not Geo. Okay. All right. All right. Who am I banging that's dead? Who's dead, first off? Who's like actually dead? Gotta make sure that they're properly corpseified before I bang them. Oh god.
No, it doesn't say you want to bang them. You might just want to admire their corpse.
No, because necrophilia literally means you're having sex with a dead person.
No, it doesn't mean sex. It just means gratification from around. It can mean.
So, okay, who can I work weekend at Bernie's? Who's a famous dead person? Like, seriously? That opens the door.
I don't think necrophilia necessarily implies, puppeting the dead person, but it could.
Well, like, that would give me gratification if I could puppet the dead person.
Okay, so all right, then, if that's the way you have to take it, what dead person would you like to puppet?
So that opens up the door very widely. Excuse me. Ooh. I think I could have a lot of fun with Prince.
Ooh.
Just take him out and take him on the town and be like, "Hey, bitches, guess who I got? Yeah."
You dig up Prince's body and go out on the town with him.
Yeah. we would play Weekend at Bernie's. It would be fun.
Huh.
And I think people would freak out a little bit. That's probably
little bit.
I think that's probably the best part of what that whole situation would do. Batman's parents.
There'd probably be some jail time involved there. We were just saying.
As opposed to anyone else's body where there wouldn't be.
That's right. I got to tell you, if you just dig up some rando's body, you're not going to get nearly as much prosecutorial attention than if you dig up Prince himself. Just saying.
Rough. All right, so who you digging up?
I mean, I suppose we could dig up JFK for a proper autopsy of his remains.
That would give you gratification?
Well, I'm just saying, like, whether or not it gives anybody gratification, at least we'd be able to conduct an autopsy on the remains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you have to be gratified by this. Remember, Polly, that's what you define necrophilia as.
I would find the autopsy gratifying.
Okay, then. There you go. See? It was not so hard.
Find out what direction the damn bullet came from. Probably wouldn't be able to from just skeletal remains, but
yeah. You might be able to, depending on if there was an impact point within the skull. So the entering point and then the initial impact point would definitely tell you from what trajectory the bullet was coming, and then you could determine where it came from based off of where you're sitting or where he was sitting in photographs and videos.
Oh, I know. Gratifying and be able to puppet him like Weekend at Bernie's him, Karl Marx.
Oh, it took me a second there to realize what the gravity of what you were saying was.
Fuck yeah. I'd have him, down at a protest marching with everybody on like marionette strings and
puppet the father of communism.
Yeah. Do you know the horror that you wrought, sir?
Oh god, that would be great. Apparently the bullet came from the front, says John Smith. I wouldn't know. I don't follow this as closely as Polly has or if anyone else has, so.
Dan Fullman said JFK's head is missing. Sort of true. His head's there. His brain is missing.
Well, biological components of the human body, don't they get like, I only ever wanted to be an ME. I didn't actually get to school to be an ME, so I don't actually know full on what it is that they do with dead bodies in the morgues. But I think don't they remove all of the mushy stuff that'll decompose?
Sure.
And replace it with chemicals and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embalming fluid and
Yeah.
such.
But they were
Well, yeah, they did. They during the autopsy, they removed the president's brain, and you can put it in, whatever. What's the chemical? An embalming fluid to stop it from degrading. I forget the name of it.
It's not formaldehyde, is it?
Formaldehyde. I was about to say the thing that they dip cigarettes in and smoke and go crazy. Water, sherm, butt naked. You know.
Yeah.
God, that's actually a thing. That's terrible. Anyway,
that's why I kids.
They removed JFK's brain during the autopsy, and they put all of those organs. They kept all of them in a preserved state. And when the brain itself was subpoenaed for the court case, the ongoing court case, because hopefully you'll be able to track. Yeah, hopefully being able to track the path of the bullet wound. The response from the National Archive was, "Oh, sorry, it's missing."
What?
Yeah, they lost the president's brain. That's not even a conspiracy theory. That's an undisputed fact. They really did just misplace the president's brain.
The president's brain. Okay, yeah. So are you telling me that it's somewhere in someone's basement, just chilling, in a big old pot full of chemical preservative, just chilling, and no one knows it's there?
Well, that raises the question: is it just somewhere in the National Archives misfiled, or did somebody take it and flush it down the toilet, like to destroy it, or did somebody take it and it's sitting on their mantle at home? Who knows? Who knows where the fuck it ended up? But it's somewhere. Something happened to it.
I'm envisioning the interrogation that went down. Where is the president's brain?
Okay, thank you again. This is from not Shio, so actual Shio this time. Thank you for the donation. And he says, hold on, let me read this in advance. Jesus Christ, I'm not reading that, man. It's just
you read it in advance.
It's a perverted sex joke about me and JFK. I ain't reading that. I mean, I appreciate the donation.
I think we can all imagine exactly what kind of perverted sex joke anyone would have made about you.
The word splatter appears. Let's just no. Let's just.
Oh boy. Polly, I didn't know you felt that way about the JFK assassination.
I don't. That's the problem. Fuck.
Daniel Fullman says that Kennedy and Lincoln were really open-minded presidents. Agreed. Ooh.
Well, I want to get this thing off my screen, so this is a quick callback. So we're talking about how paranoia runs through this, through the Hebrew Israelites, right? And the second largest one, Israel United in Christ, which is a 501c3 organization, by the way. They're tax exempt. Founded in 2003. Their particular leader, the guy who founded them, is a gentleman by the name of formerly Nathaniel Ray, changed his name to Nathaniel Ben Israel.
Wait, are you building up the image display, or okay? I was just wondering.
Well, yeah,
taking forever.
That's him. He's a New York City police detective.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the group that is hyper paranoid about infiltrators. One of the major splinter organizations, camps, is Israel United in Christ, was founded by this guy in 2003, Nathaniel Ray, who only stopped being a police officer in 2016. So your group is founded and led by a guy who was a New York City police detective and then now formally a New York City police detective. And the only reason that he's no longer a New York City police detective is because two people that were held in jail for over a year, Nathaniel Ray, and his partner accused them of a series of robberies, and they were held in prison. And it turns out that none of the evidence really kind of like stood the test, where fabricated, I don't know, false testimony on behalf of the two police officers, including Nathaniel Ray. I couldn't say what the particular details of that were, but they were released and they successfully won a $750,000 suit against the NYPD over their jailing because they had nothing to do with that series of robberies they were accused of. And subsequently, this gentleman left and full-time now runs Israel United in Christ with a shaved head and a long gray beard and talking about the evil white man all day.
Rough.
I mean,
How the mighty have fallen.
This is the same organization that is just permeated, steeped, and marinated in paranoia about official police and intelligence infiltration.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's not supposed to make sense, Polly. If it made sense, it wouldn't exist, Polly. Stop trying to logic your way through this, Polly.
Okay. I mean, I never thought there could be reason or sense, logic through this, but I am having some kind of fun doing a deep dive on this stuff because it seems to never end. Ugh.
No, it doesn't. It's glorious, isn't it? It's just like a rabbit hole that you just can't escape from. Speaking of which, so I got a comment on one of my videos recently, kind of semi-related. I need to open up the comments section, however, because it was not open initially. But yeah, I got a comment on one of my videos this weekend. It was my most recent video upload, which, by the way, I know I need to upload some more videos, guys. I get it. I get it. It just takes time, all right? I'm sorry. But I got a comment, and, oh, no, I accidentally opened up the video itself. Here, let me just share with you my lovely screen. But yeah, as I said, semi-related. Here's my comment section, and this is the comment in question initially, and this is the one I responded to. It says, from the Soul Brother a day ago, edited, I am happy this stuff makes you unhappy. America has to change whether you like it or not. Cheers. Which sounds like, you know, decently polite, aside from the whole, like, I'm happy you're unhappy kind of sentiment. You know, that's not cool, man. That's not cool at all. And remember, my how to defeat racism video is basically making a mockery of all of the steps that have been taken thus far in order to defeat racism.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think we can all get behind, as it's all ridiculous and it's all not going to help in the long run. It's just making things worse. So I said, I don't disagree with you that America has to change. I meant change. Fuck. But none of what was showcased in this video is actually how you enact that. And so, depressingly, the Soul Brother responded in such a way. Weebo Jones, you may not like the way things are enacted, but again, the country was given many opportunities to get it right. Unfortunately, many individuals who, quote, look like you, if you get my drift, who are in positions of power in government decided to not do the right thing, but chose to be on the wrong side of history. If you think things are bad now, my dear, you have not seen anything yet, especially with the changing demographics. Cheers. Like, at least he's super polite about it. You know, I'm used to getting a lot more Becky comments and a lot more, you just don't understand, you evil white person, goddamn Karen with the gun in your Twitter bio thing, whatever. I'm used to getting a lot more aggressive comments from people, so this was a little bit unsettling because he was like totally chill about it, but what he was saying was absolutely disgusting. So it was a weird, not a dichotomy, but something to digest, you know, in text. And it, well, the changing demographics thing didn't really bother me so much as the idea that it's going to keep happening, that it's going to get worse, and that it's not going to get any better, and that's a good thing in the long term, and that, you know, we make sacrifices of the normies, the people that are just everyday average Joes just trying to make their life in this country. We make sacrifices of them in the pursuit of punishing the evil white man at the top of the totem pole, which just makes absolutely no sense to me. It boggles my mind, to be quite frank, because what you're doing essentially in that is you are validating all of the worst stereotypes that are purported by people whom I don't agree with about like, take your pick race. You're validating that stereotype that this race is inferior to this race because this race is attacking this race. And see, this is the proof that you need to assert that point. Here, we have video footage of it for you. And I've seen people on Twitter touting video footage of people getting attacked for no reason by protesters and using it to validate what is essentially the beginnings of, you know, a race war, essentially, a civil race war between people, where they are advocating for the use of force against other people or the segregation of people based off of their race, because it's just the natural way of life. We've devolved this far, and there's no hope from this point. And I go, okay, but that's the type of thinking exactly that enhances that type of thinking, right? To continue to articulate that there's no hope, that the races are just going to continue to devolve into these segregated groups, is inevitably going to make that a reality. So the only way to combat that is to make fun of that thinking, is to argue against it, is to not be silent, is to disagree vehemently with that idea that, you know, the differences between the races can't be solved except for with violence. And that does create more racism, right? When you have a person get attacked for racial reasons because they are of a certain skin color, they're going to retaliate in kind because they were attacked for their skin color, and so they're going to attack someone else for having a different skin color. Psychologically speaking, that's like turnabout's fair play in their mind, but it's not. It's really not. It's not fair, and it's not justified, and you shouldn't justify it for any amount of quote-unquote justice or validation. And now I have gone off on a whole large tangent, and I'm so sorry for dominating the conversation, Polly.
Well, I don't know. There would be no cancel culture in a large part of the whole BLM thing as it exists, like as a movement, is really bound up and only on social media. You're like, oh, but they're in real life, they're really marching. Yeah, and it would all be over with now if it weren't for social media. All the way down to mayor of DC ordering, oh, we want to put up this mural on the street that says Black Lives Matter. How did that make any black person's life better? Anyone's. It didn't. It was pure surface level image, right? And now nobody is asking this mayor, what is it you're actually doing in this largely African-American city that has immense amounts of problems, still has a fuck ton of gun violence, even though you functionally outlawed firearms. And it's like, oh, DCV Heller that was turned over in 2008. You can actually get a handgun now in DC. It's next door to impossible with the bureaucratic red tape that they put there. That hasn't stopped any criminal from still getting a gun, and they still have a fucking huge violence problem. They still have poverty all over the fucking place. What have you done, Mayor? Oh, well, I painted the street. And the entire conversation is about her painting the street and people trying to deface that mural. It's very successful from a political standpoint because it solved all of her problems and made her look like she's doing something. And that tells you, in my mind, that encapsulates the entire thing of what's going on with the Black Lives Matter movement. In a nutshell, what do we actually want to do? Nothing, but we want to show things. Corporate entities. We're going to donate to Black Lives Matter Incorporated. And we're gonna black out our Twitter page, our Twitter avatar, for saying we support Black Lives Matter and we condemn racism of all kinds. What have you done? Well, it's important that we say these things and other stuff that our publicists told us to write, and boilerplate response to questions to make you sound like a bigot if you question what we just said. This is all superficial nonsense. What does it actually fucking change? Nothing. And the reason I say all these things is because the person that came over and wrote that stuff onto your video. Okay, and let me tell you something. People are like, let me tell you something, keyboard warrior. You made reference to the changing demographics. You want to talk about realism? You want to talk about, I hate to be the one to inform you. Okay, well, you know what? I enjoy being the one to inform that person who wrote that to you, that the changing demographics are not in favor of you if you are, in fact, an African-American and not somebody posing as one. Let's say that you actually are. The changing demographics are damaging you, not anyone else, because African Americans, sadly, in my opinion, are a diminishing percentage of the American demographic. Used to be 20, then 16, now estimated to be 12.3 at the next census. It's estimated to be, if the trend continues, to be below 12%. What are Hispanics?
A lot more.
Over 16. As of the next census, estimated to be at 18. You're of diminishing importance in this country, tragically. People that have been citizens of this country before it was, had been in this country before it was a country. People that should have been citizens of this country from day one. The people who have gotten the raw end of the stick from day one. And Hispanics have become a more important thing than you ever will be because of the changing demographics. So you love the idea of, us POCs are blah, blah, blah. Okay, but there is no such thing as a unified group of POCs. Just say what you mean, not white. Okay, everybody who's coming in, you think the Hispanics share common cause with you? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that on social media as part of the BLM shtick that she plays, but that's a load of bullshit. There is no common cause in that way amongst the Hispanic community and African-American community. There just isn't. There's a lot of avoidance there. There's separate communities there. There's a language barrier even there. This whole idea of all the POCs versus the white people is a social media generated load of malarkey, hokum, bullshit, garbage, trash, and nothing but. It's an attempt to promote an idea that doesn't really hold an ounce of water once you compare it to happenings in the real world. So you want to be so worried about, or so focused rather, on the demographics in the United States as an African American. Yeah, I think you should be focused on them, because what it tells you is you're a diminishing percentage of the population and continue to be so. If anyone should be against illegal immigration, it's y'all, because it damages African Americans more than it damages anybody else. Because I hate to say it, it's a tragic reality, or whatever fucking word choice you want to put there, that African Americans and Hispanics fight for the lowest paying jobs. They do. Where is the highest African American unemployment? Where illegal immigration is the highest. Doesn't say all African Americans, hashtag not all work for low paying jobs. No, they most certainly don't. But in terms of where that competition exists, that's where it exists the most strongly. Illegal immigration is damaging your community, sir. And you spend your time coming on and telling Becky to go to hell? I mean, get your fucking priorities straight. Get a good, strong grip on your head. Give it a shake and take a look at the world outside of social media and realize beyond the superficial what would actually help change the situation.
I actually prefer Becky to Karen.
Do you? You don't want to be thought of as a manager caller?
No, even though I totally am probably one of those people. But only for really good reasons. I've never actually called a manager, but I have had to return something because it didn't have what it is that I asked for. I think I ordered sriracha with one of my breakfast sandwiches one time at Starbucks, and I didn't get it. And I was like, "Can I have some sriracha, please? I asked for it, and I would like some. I like spicy." But, that's it's a very tame example compared to what it is that Karens usually get called out for. But yeah, I'd rather be a Becky than a Karen. Sorry. But that's just because, Becky and I have history.
Abaddon, we Becky Jones. I like that. It's we Becky.
That was my name on Twitter for a while there. It was. I kid you not. Right around the time that the Kangs issue was transpiring.
Well, Daniel Fullman says she cross streams with Lords of the Night. No. Stream snipe them, weebs. Stream snipe them.
Right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my god.
Let's riff Lords of the Night.
Oh my god.
Yeah, seriously, we'll do a riff tracks on them.
What are they talking about? Whose channel are they on? Lords of the Night.
I think it's Monday. Satsus? I don't know.
All right, hang on. It's Monday, so it's Satsu. The title is literally just Sigh. All right, guys. Are you ready? Fuck.
Are we even going to be able to hear it? Can you?
Using history and
Say hi.
to make an argument. It never pretended to be history.
Look, it's Kermit the Frog, everybody.
And then I get a screenshot from the official 1619 curriculum aimed at kids. And
Oh God!
We're
the
so
Yeah,
the,
the 1619 project. Let's reinvent history.
Oh, boy.
That'll make it better.
The timeline
You talk
aims
about
to
the 1619
visualize
project every
underrepresented
once in a
facts
while
about the
there,
history
and
legacy of
you know,
slavery. The
I
lesson
should
plan is
should I
designed to
read
help
that?
students engage with the timeline
Oh
and
God!
deal
Have
with
you
their
read
own connection
Howard
to
Zinn's
slavery
A People's
and the
History of
larger
America?
narrative of US
No, I
history.
haven't.
Think about
It's
the
like
ways
that,
in
but
which
more
history is
hateful.
framed in
It's
their
just
own education.
America was
And I'll have
founded in
to-
everything
so-
evil and
and
racist and
I'll-
oppressionary and blah blah
Never
blah.
said
Like
it was
it sounds like you're
history,
talking about Saudi Arabia.
I have no idea. I've been
Oh boy.
peripherally watching the 1619 thing roll out since last year, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
hang on.
And you get all these scholars
Snip.
challenging it, like, this is not an accurate way to present historical fact.
Okay, this
Like,
is
we're
gonna
gonna
sound
teach you the
sad.
curriculum.
It's gonna sound
But it's
bad,
not
but this
history,
is the
guys.
first Lords of the Night episode that I'm
It's
watching
true.
in like 3 weeks. And it's
Listen
not
at the
because,
weasel wording they use there.
you know, I don't find them cool or
They said,
anything. It's just because I don't have the time. Notice how
It's to help
I'm also
them
behind on my
look at
video
the things
making.
that they've learned.
It's really
Yeah.
sad. I feel bad. I feel horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
weasel
Yeah,
wording.
Howard Zinn, avowed communist, admitting his work was propaganda.
Anyway,
Absolutely,
I think
poorly
that is
sourced,
all the craziness out
absolutely
there.
agenda-driven history.
Oh,
It is
okay,
the worst
one
kind of
more.
history, and the 1619 project is not outside that.
The
The
Washington
idea
Post
that it's
out
being
this
included in
downward stimulating
curriculums as
feature
required
with
reading should be a
perspective,
a
not
cause
analysis,
of
not
student
opinion.
rebellion. Like,
Trump won't do it.
listen, if I want to
Governors
read,
must
like,
be
I'll
right
go
to
watch
take
Hidden
the
Colors if I
right.
want to read stuff this
National
bad.
Governors Association offers
I-
framework for coordinated effort to contain the disease.
God, this
And I
feels
said,
okay. So you know what
you're
this reminds me
unhappy
of?
that Trump has not declared martial law?
Back in the
Well,
day
it's
when
okay.
I was in high school, I used
They're
to
literally trying to egg him on. Like
just
they want
prank
it so
call
bad. They're-
random
and a lot of
food,
people have already
fast food
called it. They're like,
restaurants
dude,
with
like,
my
you-
friends
you
during
guys
lunch
don't
because we
see,
were
but Trump
bored
has
and we
already
were assholes.
initiated martial law.
Mhm.
It's like,
So we got one of
oh
those
my god, this is like a wet
7
dream for you guys. Isn't it? You want it so
plug-in
bad.
In the
adapters
chat.
that you just plug into the
Weebo.
aux port.
What up, weeps?
Hi, boys.
Um,
Yeah, you plug it into the
so
aux
what I
port
find
of the
interesting
phone,
about
and then you just plug your
that-
headphones
that,
in, and you
first
can
one
get
that
7
Sarah
good
talked
people
about
on
is the
there
fact
at that
that
call at the same
in the
time.
headline, they
Which,
specifically
yes, they
state
make
that
those.
doing this
They haven't noticed
Black
yet.
and Latino people, right?
And we would
Has
just
has
lowering
there
the
ever
bar
been a
for
two-way
definitely
stream
not.
snipe?
For Black
I don't
and
know.
Latino people, and then they stated somewhere else in the article
let's,
that
Like,
let's
the
get them to
high
do
numbers
it.
may have
If
contributed
Satsu were to
directly
snipe
the
our
rise
stream
of
where
high
we're
crime.
sniping his stream, would it cause some kind of singularity in the universe would collapse?
Oh my god, I think
Which-
it would. Guys, get them to notice.
A one-word question.
Oh boy.
Why? Like, if those are the conclusions that you've come to, then I have to ask
Oh
you,
god.
why would that be?
Okay, but so we
Because
would
to
prank
me,
call like
there's
Jimmy
only
John's or
one
whatever.
explanation.
Order
Black people
something
and
that was
Latinos are
obviously not on their
Like,
menu. So I think
That
we
would be that has
ordered
to be the explanation. You're
from
saying higher
maybe
scores
Buffalo Wild Wings
or-
this
or
time.
higher,
It
requirements
was
for the score
Buffalo
has
Ball
directly related to
Wings
Black and
or
Latino
Buffalo
people
Ball fries.
not being able to get
Mhm.
the bar. And
So
lowering that
essentially,
score
they would be
specifically
buffalo
would
testicles.
directly benefit
Because we
Right.
would have to describe them to the lady when
So,
she answered the
I'm
phone.
asking the person who's issuing it, like
So
that
buffalo
statement,
testicles
this is your
with
belief,
semen
these are
on them.
your beliefs on how you think this is.
Oh god, we were the worst. Yes, I was that kid in
Why
high
is
school.
that the case? Because if it's anything other than they're stupid and they can't figure it out, then I'd have to know how you came to that conclusion.
Why don't you love
Like, I don't
me?
understand how they're like, oh, this. has
What are they
nothing to
talking
do with
about
that.
now? Stuff?
They're
Is
lowering
it
the bar for everybody. Then that
the
means more white
1918
people,
thingy?
too.
16.
Quit fixing
No,
The
they
War
were
of
wrong.
1812?
That you're talking about. The problem that you're talking
Yes.
about would still exist if they lowered the bar and they did it exclusively for everybody, because more white people would pass it too, right? Or am I crazy?
Theoretically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
Crazy.
making
All right,
sure
once
that
they
I
once
got
they
this right,
notice, I think we'll
because-
just hop on.
Anyway, Monkey, what you got for the fucking truth?
Also-
the real fucking tree I have is my own.
Polly
fucked
is
up.
here
I
too.
have my own.
I gotta acknowledge Polly here.
Get in the way of a story from yesterday with the guy getting shot down there.
Don't involve me in your stream sniping.
You
This is-
suggested this.
no. This is against YouTube terms of service. This is your idea.
5 very loud pops and then 3 much quieter ones.
FYI.
Now, if you fired guns, you know that a
Oh,
rifle
screw Polly. Do you
is
see
a
that,
lot
Polly?
louder than a pistol.
Satsu's mad at you.
And to me, like,
How could he say that? I've never
the
even streamed
rifle
with him.
fired first.
What? What?
And that was part
What?
of the
Are
justification
you kidding
I
me?
used, but
You've never
in
streamed
all
with Satsu?
honesty,
It's an ongoing joke.
I-
Every time I stream
that would
with
be
him,
justifying my
I say like, "I'm happy to stream with you, man. We've been waiting so long." He's like, "Yeah, I know." It's an ongoing joke.
actually
Every
time we stream together is the first time.
Didn't
Gotcha.
actually fire.
BG says I
There's
should have
people
gotten
saying that
Inquisitor
they pointed the gun
to
at
be
me
my co-host instead of Polly.
at the,
Hey, guys.
And I can't
Polly
in
came
good
to me
faith
with this idea.
grab onto
All
that
right.
either. There's a picture
So had it
floating
not been
around
for Polly, you would not
where
be
it looks like he
getting
may have his
weekly
hand
Weebo
on
live
the grip.
streams.
Weekly
Weekly.
Weebo.
Look at the picture.
That's what we should have called it. Weekly
Weekly
Weebo.
Weebo.
That's the part.
God damn it. How's that for branding? Oh, that would have been
In
great.
either case,
No, I still like Cocktail Hour, though.
Until I get more evidence that that's just the driver's say so.
And it
That was
okay.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Was that your suggestion? The name?
Cocktail Hour? Yeah, that was my
Same
suggestion.
thing. That's not an excuse for me.
You know what I'm sad
I
that got
fucked up.
used that I
That's
thought was a great name?
Fact.
Hmm.
So,
Midnight
I
Power
fucked that
Hour.
one up. I would
We only
give my
had
best
2
shot to let that
episodes, me and
happen
SDA, but it totally would have worked for something awesome,
Well,
you know?
we can go ahead and hop into
But once you
questions
use
now.
a show name, you can't just,
We got
you know,
Weebos here.
use it again for
Weebo,
something
Weebo,
else.
Weebo, you wanna-
Right. The Midnight
You
Power
can
Hour.
has link if thou wanted.
I'm already.
But guys, questions. If you have them, please send them with a bunch of chat marks behind it so that we know it's us. And if you have statements, shove them.
You would
up
know
your
that if you
ass.
loved me.
You don't want them. Fuck you and your stupid, filthy, stupid statement.
Wow.
Rough.
Was that harsh enough?
Isn't this a family show?
No, my gaming channel is a family show.
Your gaming channel is a family show.
Yes.
Stream snipe us back, boys. Come on.
Not your fam too.
Chat, what are you doing?
I mean, that one is too,
Oh, okay.
but this one not quite.
Yeah, I kind of get that.
We shove
Okay.
statements up our ass here. You think that's a family activity?
What do you mean we?
Bye.
Nintendo.
Right.
Anyway.
I was bored. I'm done bugging them for now. Maybe tomorrow. Oh wait, no, I'm working tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. Wait, no, I'm doing something Wednesday. Oh, that's right. We have movie night on Wednesday. Hey guys, by the way, the Discord link is in the description if you would like to join us for movie night. I have no idea what we're watching yet. I haven't even put the poll up. So I guess that means that y'all are gonna have to vote for the movie that you want to watch in a single day. Oh, my bad. Stakes are high. Pick a good movie. Once I put the poll up. Abaddon the Spoiler says he wants Cole. Well, I do too, but he's busy being Cole elsewhere. You know, he tried to get in the basement today, and then he tried to leave the house, and then he tried to get into my room last night, and he's just... That boy, I swear to God, is the motherfucking queen of this household. He goes where he pleases, any day, any night. He just does what he wants. And I can't stop him. Because he's my cat. Polly.
Uh-huh.
No comment? You don't want to commentate about how awesome my cat is?
No, I want to hear what movies you were thinking of adding to your possible list.
Oh, so you mean the ones that I'm going to make you watch?
Yeah, those two, actually. I'm more interested in hearing that than anything.
Okay, so, how do you feel about musicals?
Depends on the musical, actually.
How do you feel about parody musicals?
What would count as a parody musical?
So, you take a concept and you make it into an absolute parody of itself. You know, like actually, well, I have an example. I know exactly what I'm going to make you watch. It's called Twisted: The Untold Story of a Royal Vizier, and it's basically, you know, this not the Sound of Music, The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Wicked?
Yeah.
So you know the relationship between those two properties. what that is exactly, right?
No, I don't. I guess.
Oh, okay. So you've seen The Wizard of Oz before, right?
I have. Yep.
Okay. So Wicked tells the story of, I can't remember which Wicked Witch it is, but it's one of the Wicked Witches and why it is that she's green. Her backstory, why it is that she is the way that she is, and who she is, and it kind of gives more depth about a character that we otherwise just assumed was this evil bitch. So Twisted does that with Aladdin. And it's a fan made musical, so all original content basically. Original script too, but it tells the story of Jafar and how he's actually just a misunderstood advisor to the Sultan. And it starts out with kind of his origin story as the assistant vizier, and then it goes into kind of his role throughout the movie, but from his point of view. And it's it's probably one of the funniest things that I've ever seen because it's done in a very parody type of way with songs that make it very inappropriate, because it's definitely not the Disney version of
Inappropriate how?
So there's literally a scene where a bunch of the characters are calling the faraway prince suitor who's supposed to be marrying Jasmine, or who goes to meet Jasmine, who gets his pants ripped by her tiger. They literally call him Tiger Fucker, basically, because the joke is played up that his pants only got ripped by the tiger because the tiger wanted it in his pants. And they're literally just chanting it at this guy for a solid maybe 5 minutes in the entirety of the musical, but it's done spectacularly. There's another song, the scene in the original Aladdin movie where Jasmine and Aladdin are kind of flying on a magic carpet, and it's their romance piece, basically.
Huh.
Well, that in the musical, the parody musical, is played off entirely differently. So instead of a very romantic, magical scene, it's played off for laughs as the Take Off Your Clothes song. And so quite literally, the most of the lyrics kind of revolve around that sexual element, with Jasmine being super clueless about it and Aladdin being super blatant about it. And preceding this, immediately, Jafar warns Jasmine that he starts to break into song and then it stops. But essentially, it is a song is a dick in sheep's clothing, and that is the full extent of the lyrics of that song. I kid you not. But yes, this is a parody musical of the movie Aladdin, and it's probably one of the funniest things on the face of the planet.
If that's your choice, yeah, we can watch that.
Yeah.
You know what I would like to watch, and I mean, I know they're your suggestions, so you would have to choose it. But one of Prince's musicals, especially the lesser known one, like Sign of the Times, for example.
Yeah.
Or Purple Rain, if need be.
Well, I've never seen one of Prince's musicals, so.
But if you're into musicals, you should check out one of Prince's.
I love something that I can sing along to. Like, those are the kind of things that encourage you to not be quiet during the movies.
Or South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. If you haven't seen it in a while, I think
it
qualifies as a musical.
It does. I heard that they were never going to do another musical movie like that ever again, because it was so much more work than what they were used to for South Park, because they did have to actually come up with the songs themselves, and they were actually really well done. Connor Johnson for 2 says, have you seen the Broadway musical Hamilton? I have not.
I have.
Yeah.
Not live.
Is it good? Do you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. People, it was good. I think people, I mean, it's talked about for every reason that you think that it is. I mean, there are lots of good musicals. Like 1776 was a great musical, is it? But it's like, everybody in it is African American, Hispanic, like that's really, Like
I didn't understand half of what you just said.
everybody in it's African American or Hispanic.
Ah.
I'm going to say it like an idiotic child because the people that talk about it, that's the very first thing that they say about it. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess that means it can't really stand on its own merits outside of the fact that it's, it's like Boyhood. It's like, is this film any good? Well, it took 12 years to make. Okay. Cool. Is it any good?
Like you could take 12 years. 12 years?
Yeah, years.
Years to make something that doesn't make it any amount of decent.
Yeah. I mean, the concept of the film is that it's like the same actor is playing himself, like playing the same character, like intentionally from a child all the way up to being a young man. And it's over a period of 12 years. So you're not hiring a child actor and then someone different to play him as an adult and you film the whole thing in 2 months,
Oh. Yeah, no, that's like a 2-hour movie?
Yes, ma'am.
What would the concept of that be? Just watch this child grow up?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like the dramatic happenings in the life of. Yeah, it's a drama.
Okay. Is it nonfiction or fiction?
Fiction. It's fiction.
So then.
All right, see you later on Holy Reaper.
Oh, bye. Thanks for joining. But so what would the point of? Why wouldn't you just film some person in their everyday life for 12 years? Why go through all the trouble of conducting a script to follow for 12 years?
The whole thing just strikes me as a really overworked gimmick.
Yeah.
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 Assassin the Grey says 1776 is infinitely better. I think it is better. I think the songs are better. That's not to say Hamilton's songs aren't well written and well performed. They are. But again, it becomes a point in the era of woke culture to talk about it endlessly. It received endless promotion. And people say, oh, it's to be the greatest musical that we ever made. Like, oh, shuck, relax, calm down.
So I've seen exactly 2 Broadway musicals in my entire life, and they were both while Hamilton was out on Broadway when it originally came out, because I went to New York with El Boyfriendo for a summer trip after we graduated high school, and we just didn't get the opportunity to buy tickets to Hamilton because we were poor, broke, and it would have been hard to get tickets at that point because it was already out and everyone was hype about it. And so, yeah, it was nearly impossible. But I did see 2 Broadway musicals, and they were spectacular. Like, Broadway don't mess around. That's not childish shit that they're purporting out there. That is legit. Like, the costumes, the lighting, the choreography, everything was peak.
I would have liked to have seen Spider-Man one. Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark? Got an odd title like that. Anyway, it was a Spider-Man musical on Broadway, and it was of note because it kept injuring performers.
Oh my god.
You didn't hear about this?
No.
They taking out 2 different actors, crippled one of them, where because he's Spider-Man, right? So he swings around on webs and shit. So they got all these wire setups for them to be able to perform those various stunts so Spider-Man could swing in and swing out and stuff like that. And repeatedly they would crash to the ground. And
I mean, poor guy, but still, it's pretty funny. I'm sorry. It was a huge Broadway flop, says Conspiracy Occult Illuminati.
But it ended up getting rewritten and reformulated, and okay, so it did end up getting rewritten, but they had a whole bunch of the stage set pieces made for it, of a previous version of the script. And since they spent all this money, this production money on these giant ornate set pieces, giant light up, movable on roller things. It's like, well, we have to use the new script. So those old set pieces got shoehorned into the new script in a really obvious way. So it ended up being like this big Frankenstein piece of a show that made no sense, where there was inclusion of old material and new material, and the songs didn't really flow into one another because they had already paid writers from some of the old material. So we have to use it because Jesus Christ, we spent the money, we might as well. And so, yeah, I think that was part of, as I understand it, I've never seen it, but that's a part of the reason it was a flop, because it was a all over the place musical that made no sense and wasn't very good in its final form. So I would have liked to have seen it.
I probably would have enjoyed that too. I really want to see Phantom of the Opera and Wicked on Broadway at some point in my life before I die. That would be really nice. Not gonna lie. Phantom of the Opera, love the soundtrack. So beautiful. Andrew Lloyd Webber. He brings it. He brings it musically in that musical.
Are you just an Andrew Lloyd Webber fan overall?
No. I am Cat's biggest critic, because that was also a passion project of his.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were a fan of Cats.
What?
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 Well, why the fuck were you watching it?
To torture myself for the audiences.
Well, I understand that the live action version of it was like panned before it even came out because, oh, well, we got all these celebrities in it and blah, 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 like over promoted. Yeah. I did not, I thought you were a fan of Cats itself.
No, I've actually never seen Cats. Everything that I've ever seen with cats, to do with cats, heard about cats, read about cats, just doesn't jive well with me. Something, no, it doesn't make sense. I love the chat. What? Yeah, no, we only watched Cats in the Discord because my audience has this really weird sadistic streak about them.
There was not a single song that you liked in that entire play that we watched.
No.
Not one.
It's a musical.
Whatever.
I would barely call it a musical. But yeah, no, I did not enjoy any of it. I didn't even, the pivotal piece, I can't even fucking remember what it was, but it's like the big one with the snotty cat. The glamour cat. You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, I know.
Was,
yes.
Snotting all over her face, and she was crying.
So of the moonlight. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Oh, dude, she just
butchered it.
Stank up the screen.
I could not enjoy it, and so I just ruined for me. Couldn't.
The snotty cat. She was so snotty. It's true. Like, and Chap, for those who don't know, we don't mean like upper crusty and condescending snotty. We mean actual snot coming out of her face.
Nose. Yeah.
Memories. Thank you, Assassin of the Grey. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, the song.
And she's staring right at the camera, singing. And some people get ugly face when they sing. Oh my God, she got like straight reflected face.
It doesn't help that she was CGI cat face either.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of what happened in that. How long was that movie? It's I think it was like 2.5 hours, 2 hours. None of what happened. It felt like it took forever. It would not end. It just kept going and going and going. But none of that felt like a good time.
Yeah, memory sucked. Jellicle Cats went on way too fucking long.
Mm-hmm. The one with Rebel Wilson, where she was basically dancing with the
the mini mice that she was
mice.
Yeah, that she was torturing into performing for.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, Rum Tum Tugger wasn't a bad song. My favorite, I actually liked Magical Mr. Mistopheles. I thought that was pretty good.
Which one was that?
He was the magical cat that could.
Oh, okay.
That was trying to pull old Deuteronomy back from what's his name's lair. I thought his song was pretty cool. It was catchy.
I can't even remember it. Like, nope.
Rebel the Hut. Yeah, she actually does full eagle spread laying on the ground for some reason.
Oh, gosh, she does. We get like a full frontal of her as a cat. It's not fun. It's not fun. I was disturbed beyond saving. Just no. Sassy the Gray wants to know why I'm wearing a fleece pullover in July. Because I'm cold. Dad has the AC turned up to 11. Not 11 degrees, just 11 isn't like the, Anything? Okay. All right. Speaking of performances on the stage, I think it was Daniel Fullman who asked, you were in theater. What plays did you do? Okay. Polly, are you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
So in elementary school, I was a part of Westward Woe as a twin. I can't even remember which twin, but I was one of the Ham twins. The reason why is because obviously I looked like the other girl that they had playing as my twin. We were both blondes and somewhat petite. The next one that I was in was Alice in Wonderland. And and guess which character they had me play?
Alice?
No.
Well, I don't know. Blonde girl. I don't.
Well, consider this. I prefaced with they had me play a twin in Westward Woe. There's only one pair of twins in Alice in Wonderland.
Mutt and Jeff?
What?
I don't know. Who are the twins in Alice in Wonderland?
Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Guess which one I was?
Oh, dumb.
Yeah, I was Tweedledum. Yep.
So, okay, the only thing I know of Alice in Wonderland, never having seen it performed on stage, never having seen the Disney adaptation or anything like that. Vaguely aware of it as anybody would be of the general characters like the Cheshire Cat and the story and the rabbit and the Mad Hatter and everything. My ex-girlfriend one time said, so we're going to this Halloween party and we're all going to dress up as various characters from that. And it's like, and you're going to dress up as one. And I'm like, no. I mean, first of all, that whole couples costume thing, like, you know what I'm talking about here?
I don't see a problem with couple costumes so long as you're both having a good time and you agree on the couple costume. That's a big one too. Because if one person doesn't want to do it, then it's not fun.
Yeah, well, and there's things like, I don't know, man. I'm not like, because I'm not all like passionate about it. I'm not going to go through all this cosplay to like be the Mad Hatter or whatever. Like I didn't even say, or put a makeup cat to be the Cheshire Cat or whatever. And her first suggestion was like, well, why don't you be the March Hare? And I'm like, what's the March Hare? She's like, it's a rabbit. It's a brown rabbit. And I'm like, so all I got to do is dress up in a rabbit's costume? She's like, yeah. She goes, I'll get you the costume. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And I was happy to play the March Hare because it was just, 6'2" Polly in a giant rabbit costume with like big, huge ears. And she went to the costume store and got it. She's got one that was big enough for somebody who was 6'2". So the costume even had pockets and it had like the ears like stood up off it was like a hoodie that you pull over and then your face was fully exposed in the front.
Do you still have the costume, Polly? Polly,
no, it came
correctly.
It came from the costume store. It was rented. It was rented.
Oh,
and it had like wire inserts into the ears, so they really could like stand up off your
pictures.
I do have
everything.
I do have pictures, and I was fucking loaded, man. I was two-fisting drinking all night long. So there's lots of pictures of me with a bottle of beer in each hand, going, "I'm the March Hare."
Give me 1 second. Good night, Dad. I need these pictures right now, like immediately. I need to see these.
Nobody
I
likes
save them, but I really want to see them.
Nobody likes sloppy drunk pictures. I mean, come on.
Oh, come on. Yes, I do. All your friends do. You might not, but everyone else does. And thank you, Lion Patriot, who donated to the Streamlabs to say, nerd. yeah, that's me.
So is that your only performance on stage rather, was in those two musicals?
No, actually. So I went on. Well, those weren't even musicals. One of them was a musical. One of them was a oh, what was it called? A play. After that, I decided very quickly that I did not want to be a part of the twin get up ever again because I was over it. I was over playing one part of a duo, essentially, in that capacity. And then in high school, I got into chorus and I got into our honor choir my senior year. And that was, well, actually, junior year, I got into chorus and they had this like winter dinner show called a Madrigal Dinner. Have you heard of this?
No. It's like a murder mystery dinner? Like what?
No. So it's kind of like it's a holiday dinner with a show, and the script is always different because we always make it up. But the songs are pretty standard holiday classics, but we're singing it a cappella. And there's the main singers are like a group of 28 people of all different voice parts, just kind of singing in a costume that is kind of Renaissance-y. And the first year that I was a part of this, I was just a dinner server, so I had one of those surf costumes on. And I actually got to serve my dad's table because he bought tickets to this thing, and my grandparents showed up, my brother was there, and I basically had to be the server for my family, which was humiliating because my brother, he made the most of this experience. Then the next year I was a part of the actual main cast, and they had names and they had specific special costumes, and I got to wear a princess hat. It was great. They called me Princess Leia. We got to pick out our character name. And it was a fun time, but that was the last time I was ever a part of a show on the main stage. Once I got to college, I decided that I was just going to stick to a cappella pop music for the one group that I was a part of, and then if I wanted to be part of theater in that capacity, I was just going to stick to behind the scenes type stuff. So I relegated myself to the costume shop, and that was that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lion Patriot, for the $5. A far-drawn poly otter in a bunny suit now, please. This is not an entirely crazy idea, Lion Patriot. I might suggest that to Far. It's a little weird. An otter in a bunny suit. Thank you for the donation.
Yeah.
So you play musical instruments. You never had to do recitals, performances?
I did. Yes. I've done a number of performances on famous halls across the nation for the group that I was a part of when I was a part of it as a violinist. I've done a number of things on stage in a singing capacity. I've gone to state competitions. I went to, all of the important state competitions that you can be a part of when you're in a high school choir. If I get super specific about it, I'll dox myself is the problem. There is an actual newsreel out there with me in full madrigal costumes singing that has to do with my high school choir. So this is like 4 or 5 years ago or so. And it shows where we were singing, the group names. You could probably find out exactly. Yeah, no. So I don't want to get super specific with it, but yeah, I've been musically inclined since I was about the age of 2. That's when they started me off on the violin, and from there it was just kind of a collection of piano, vocal stuff. I tried my hand at guitar, but most of it has gone out of my fingers since I stopped playing in my freshman year of college. But the only reason I learned how to play guitar was because my ex-boyfriend broke up with me, and I was super sad and depressed and was making Taylor Swift-esque breakup songs for a while there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was a sophomore in high school then. Yeah, I've said too much. No, I haven't actually. I haven't said nearly enough to get me doxxed, but that's fine. What else? What else? What else? What else?
Yeah, Chad. I mean, Weebo doesn't. She wants all this emotional support and so forth. And I told her that I'd like to learn an instrument, and she said, "Oh, really? Which one?" And I said, "The trumpet. I would like to learn to play blues trumpet." And she's like, "Oh, God, it's so basic." Bitch. She was all over me for like the next few minutes, and judging the shit out of the decision. It was
I told
deflating.
him the saxophone. If you want to be a basic bitch but still get the chicks, the saxophone.
But you can play the muted trumpet, like I said that night. You know, wah, 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 and all that stuff. I mean, come on.
It's not as sexy. Sorry, it's just not. The ladies, they like a full body grasp, and the saxophone gives them that image. All right, but the trumpet, not so much. It kind of looks like you're sucking on a dick.
Damn. Wow. Wouldn't a flute be the ultimate extension of that? I never said nothing about a flute.
Well, thank God.
Okay, do you see this? This is the.
So Daniel Fullman asked me, did I ever get to sing that final time? Because there was supposed to be a final show for my a cappella group, and I did have a solo for it. Technically, I never got to perform that final song in a official capacity, but there is a video out there of me going to town on stage for a crowd of my 3 people, like our second to last day on campus, because we were doing that really depressing like procession of the campus where we were drinking like a pull of alcohol from a flask in every single building. The academic alcohol challenge essentially is what it's called. And one of the buildings we stopped at was the performance hall where we would have had our performance. And I sang my fucking heart out to that song. And so maybe I'll post it if you guys really want me to. I gotta get it from my friend, and she's gonna have a bitchin' of a time sending it to me. Okay. I gotta say the trumpet comment was just me giving Polly shit. All right, I don't actually mean that, but now that I think about it, it's totally true. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I guess you do have to have a jazz name. And Daniel Fullman suggests Tall Water Dubs.
You could play a damn sultry trumpet, Polly. Is that quite so?
Well, I was responding to Angela because, unlike you, she said she thought I could play an awesome trumpet, and I said I think I could play a damn sultry. I want to play a smoky, sultry, late night jazz blues club trumpet. Like I wanted to fit into our bar, obviously, because I like that kind of sound and style and look and everything.
Remember, Weebo was Tweedledum, says Assassins of the Great. Yeah, you don't need to remind me about that. Not in the slightest. There's probably another picture around there, around the internet floating. Shh. I had to take my anti-baby pills. Remind me once we get off, Polly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abaddon says my brother played trumpet in school. The one time I tried a bugle, it sounded like a wounded moose. See, there's the thing, man. You either got to have patient neighbors or like live alone, or you know what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna try and get those notes. I remember friends of mine going into band and just trying to get proper notes. I remember one friend of mine got assigned it was a woodwind instrument. I'm trying to remember. It was huge, whatever the fuck it was. And I'm like, why did you get something small? Like it was carryable, right? That fucking case, you know. So the only thing bigger would have been like a fucking tuba or something. I knew one guy who played the shit. What's it called? It's the
triangle.
Horn.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
French horn.
I play a mean maraca. You should. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the horns that wrap all the way around your upper torso, like it's like a big old circle that you rock over yourself. He actually played that. He had one of them.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I I used to have, okay, so they started me off on this like tiny little violin thing, like a really small, fun-sized violin.
Fun sized.
It was this small. It was about the size of my hand. I kid you not. Polly, I kid you not. This was back in the day when I was 2. So really, really tiny, you know, with like the tiny fingers, the tiny arms, and all that jazz. And they only gave me 2 strings to play with because 4 strings was too much. And all I could play was seesaw. Seesaw, seesaw, da na 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 na. This is literally the whole song. And for like 2 months, that was all they let me play.
But that's how you develop that mad skill base, right?
Yeah, you gotta figure out like how to place your fingers and get really attuned to that, and then you can move on to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Huh.
I kid you not, that's how they go about doing it.
No, I don't see it. I mean, I get the repetition would be annoying, but it makes perfect sense. Like, you know, get a good tone out of your hand movement and stuff. I remember my friend complaining about the violin, where my lessons were really just for like the first month was the instructor holding my hand trying to get me to draw the bow straight across the strings because I had trouble with that.
Mm-hmm.
He had trouble with that kind of thing.
Yeah. Daniel Pullman, can you play a square dance? He asks me. I used to be able to play most of Orange Blossom, which is a square dancey song. I mean, there's a train whistle involved and everything, and you play. You. Some people play part of the song with their bow in their mouth and their violin kind of like this in their hands, so they're like just kind of jiggling it underneath the violin bow and then adjusting accordingly to what string they need to be actually playing at a really fast pace too. Some people just stand there while someone else does the bow configurations. Other people do it behind their back, so it's really up to the personal preference of the person playing. But you have to be really, really skilled to do that. I never got to that level. I quit before I could, and that's when I started taking Taekwondo because my dad was like, Weebo, you have to be doing something productive with your life outside of just school. So pick something else. Otherwise, you're going back to violin. And I went, no. That's why I moved on. My brother, of course, continued on until he graduated and then into college. That's actually how he got his scholarship, was playing the violin. He's the more musically inclined one. I just encourage him.
So I just popped over here to Amazon.
Oh.
To take a look at how much trumpets are going for. And I've watched a couple of videos where it's like comparing a cheap guitar to my very expensive Fender guitar, like that kind of thing. And I remember various instruments. And I remember the people saying repeatedly that I thought this was not even going to work. I'm actually fairly impressed. Like, it's not great, but it's totally functional for $60, like that kind of thing. That was the response again and again. So anyway, trumpets going anywhere between $100 and $1,000. And it's like, oh, okay. Right. And look at this, the traditional wah-wah mute for a trumpet, aluminum. It's only $38. No. It's not like sexy, sultry, seductive.
No, you can't make trumpets sultry and seductive. Find me trumpet shenanigans with sultry and seductive.
Weebo, I insist we hear the story of when you were beaten with a trumpet as a child. What is your fucking problem? What is this?
I don't think that sultry, seductive trumpet happens. Sorry, Polly. That's not how that works. All right.
What trumpet music was playing during a distressing, unsexy point in your life that has given you this opinion?
Trumpets can't be sexy. I disagree wholeheartedly. I'm trying to find a picture of baby Weebo when I was performing. All right. Ready for the most grainy image you've ever seen in your life?
Okay.
That's baby Weebo.
Aww.
Cute little performance dress and my tiny little violin. I'm not even holding my bow correctly. This is a disgrace. Ugh. And look at my violin. It's just kind of sitting there sagging under my arm. Ugh. My violin teacher would be ashamed. Preposterous. This is well into my adolescent violin career, by the way. I was not 2 years old at this age. At this point in my life. Just for the record, all right? This is me. I'm adorable. I think I posted that on. Oh God, I gotta have more than just that, honestly, truly. But I can't find it for the life of me. Anyway, I could totally like scrounge up something of me playing when I was a kid and post it for you guys if you really really wanted me to. Of course, it might be traumatizing to see me even shorter than I am. I don't know if you guys can handle it. You had a show and tell with the stab sticks. You should show us your musical skills, says Daniel Fullman. I guess I could. I'd have to figure out if my brother left me my bow so I could play my violin, but, if he did, I'd practice first. Definitely would practice first before it is that I unleash that onto the world because it probably does not sound as funky fresh as it did in my prime.
Oh, sorry. It's just well, wow. You took it back to 1988, man. With the
It probably doesn't sound as funky fresh as it did.
yeah, it wasn't deaf at all. It was just
Play for you live. Oh, jeez, you guys are asking for some shenanigans. Here's the problem: I'd have to pick a song that's definitely that I know, by the way, that's definitely within the Creative Commons. Like I wouldn't get dinged for copyright infringement because I'd play it. Like I'd play it originally, but it's still a song that someone probably owns the right to. If I pick up a Voldy song, one, I'll make myself look like a fool, but two, that might actually get me in the clear. So I don't know, maybe. I already look like I'm 4 feet tall. It wouldn't be that bad to see a smaller Weebo. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Haha. Have you seen Two Cellos? Those guys destroy bows. I've never, well, I have seen Two Cellos, and I love them, but I've never abused my violin bow in that way. I couldn't. Because one, restringing a bow it can run you up a little bit if you do it that often. And of course, you don't want to fuck with a bow because I think my bow might be solid wood instead of just like the carbon fiber that they typically are. Those are a lot more delicate. Sorry, I'm talking an awful lot about my musical career, which doesn't exist anymore. Like the full extent of what I do on a daily basis that involves music is listen to it and maybe sing along when I'm doing the chores.
what I do now with music is listen to it. I let all of those years go to waste, and
I mean, I can still do it. It's like riding a bike. It's still in my fingers. I just have to pick it back up, but I don't have the time to. Like if you think I have the time to play my violin, but not to edit a video, oof. Like I got priorities, guys. I'll edit a video before I pick up my violin again. I'll just say that.
Oh shit, we've peaked the 2 hour mark. Time to bring it to a close, I think.
Yeah. Are you sick of my talk about violining?
I didn't say that. I'll leave the musical condescension and hate for no good reason to you, Weebo. That's your territory.
I feel like that was a pointed slight against me for no reason either. Like, what's that about? That seems a little bit aggressive. What did I do?
I'll leave the baseless, reasonless aggression to you. That seems to be your territory.
Whatever could you mean? Yeah. Okay, so we'll wrap it up then. I'm glad we got as many questions as we did out of the chat because we've been kind of skipping on that, haven't we, Polly?
Yes. Interactive is always better.
Yes. So we will be back here next week, same time, Monday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I almost said Standard Time. I'm dead on the inside. Yeah. And hopefully we'll know by then if I have a job or not.
We're rooting for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna die. Polly, do you have anything that you want to show before it is that we wrap this up?
No, just my channel. You can find me, Polydub. Yay.
Okay, good. You don't even want to shill our collab?
Well, Daniel Fulman just actually asked about that. He said how goes the whittling down of the collaboration raw material? It goes well. It's continuing. It
It
has not been
does.
abandoned. It's coming along.
Good. And I have finished all of my videos. Now all I have to do, or videos, and now all of my movies. Now all I have to do is rate all of the gentlemen and
Nice.
compile pictures so that we can do the thing with the stuff. Polly.
I'm ready whenever.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So it's all on me then. Anyway, so I will have a video out this week. I pinky swear. It's just a matter of which video do I want to put out that strikes my fancy the most, or which one is the easiest to put out that I don't have to kill myself over for several hours getting out. Because there's one that would take a lot of time. There's one that wouldn't take nearly as much time, and then there's one that I could get out in like 5 seconds. But I'm waiting for an update on it, so I can't get it out until Friday. But once I know, then it's out. So in the meantime, look for my next update. I will not give any clues as to what it is, because I make no promises as to what it is going to be. In the meantime, enjoy the internet. Please be kind to each other and yourselves. And we'll see you next week, Monday. Same time, same place, same otter, same face. Thank you to those who donated, to those who commented, to those who liked, who commented, shared, subscribed, to those who shared the stream, especially thank you. And to specifically Assassins of the Grey, thank you for shilling our links in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
We stand that here in cocktail hour in the bar. Anyway, see you guys.
Have a good night, all.
Bye.